Good morning. Oh, let's see how to not do that anymore. I don't know why it didn't clear the chat from last week. Or from last week, a couple days ago. Let me fix that. I think I got it. There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I decided not to jump straight into stitching this morning. I am going to be doing a little bit of organizing with y'all, so put up some fabric because I have a pile here of fabric that I've received that I haven't put up. It is early on Saturday. Sorry, I'm sure that's very loud. Okay. That to stay just like that. Just through my phone. Need more room on this table. Okay. This is a 32 count Lugana from Be Stitch Me. Pretty much where I buy all my fabrics at this point. Thank you. Yep, I chopped it all off yesterday. Um, I'm coming to terms with the fact that they didn't do what I wanted them to do, but that it looks good. So, one of these days I'm going to get back into a Fabric of the Month club, but the time is not now. Welcome in. What are you working on today? It's early, so I'm sure some people are not working on anything. I always have to remember how I do this every single time. So that's not it. And actually, because I'm just receiving these, well, not receiving, but like just putting them in my inventory, I'm actually going to put them in the Notions app too. Here in just a moment. I actually have more Be Stitch Me fabric in the mail from the last Friday night fight night, but it's not going to make it here today. Because if it was, I was going to go get it. But it says it's supposed to be here by like 9 o'clock tonight, but the last update was in Illinois. So unless it's in like Lubbock around this time of it, then it's not getting here today. It has to ship out from Lubbock first thing in the morning. It's the only time we get mail. So, oh, this one's done. Let me find my tablet. I'm going to go back to my main page. Now there's a shortcut I actually I knew about, but I never use, and that is right here where we add fabric. Yes. This is Acorns. It's a 32 count. Lugana? Yeah, Lugana. That's where y'all can see this a little bit. Just a little. Everything's crooked. That's. Hello, hello, and thank you for following. Welcome in. Oh, it looks like it was. Good morning, Holly. How are you today? Yeah, that other message was a bot. Really love this game. Yeah. You can tell they have no clue. I've been doing okay. Eat, sleep, stitch, repeat, you know. Right now I'm doing some organizing. I'm putting some fabrics up in my inventory before I get started stitching this morning. It's a brown, orange. Do-do-do-do. All right. So Acorns is now ready to get put up. And what do we have next? Bought this one at a retreat in August, or July. In July. So that tells you how long it's been since I've organized my fabrics. This one is cranberry sauce from Live and Die LA. It's a beautiful color. I feel like I need to put a Christmas something on it. The nice thing about these is I can reuse them. So the fact that like this one had a fabric on it and I put the fabric in a kit and then I put a new sticker on it. I get the stitch repeat part. The eat and sleep part may not be that regular. I'm pretty good at the eating thing. I try and be pretty good at the sleeping thing. But I understand that that is not everybody's ease. Like I have another friend named Holly who pretty much never sleeps. Cranberry sauce. And I'm lucky, like work is in there too, but I get to stitch at work, so I just leave it with eat, sleep, stitch, repeat. This is a Lugana from Live and Die A. And it is a 28 count. I love this color. It's my second favorite next to red, or purple, I mean. Purple and red. Lift this camera up a little bit. See, my desk is a mess, but I won't have to work around the camera so much. Are you working on anything this morning, Holly? Or is it super early there? I start at 9 o'clock my time, and that's early for me. I've been awake for maybe 30 minutes. Because I sleep in on my off days. On my work days, I'm up by 3:30 in the morning. So, Right, so now I'm going to enter this one into Notions. That's why my camera was so low, because we were doing this a minute ago. New fabric. Cranberry sauce. I say it's a 28 count, right? I saw this color sitting on the table and could not pass it up. Ooh, oh no. Gray, red. It's entered. Simple as that. Next. This one I also got at that retreat in July. This is like, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's coming out a little bit brighter. Well, there it goes. If we compare it to my hand, it's basically like black, dark gray slash black. I actually bought it for a friend also and sent it to her, and hers was um, opalescent. It was really dark and inky looking. 28 count. I always find it interesting when you line up one side, okay, perfectly straight, and then this is what you get on the other side. How do we manage that one? Wait, not quite where we need to be. Luckily, all the kitting that I've been doing, I do sitting right here. So when I take the fabrics off and put these little pins on my magnet board over here, they're right here ready for me to reset up. This one and my notions. I just figured doing a little bit of organizing this morning meant it got done and gave everybody a chance to wake up and come join us. This is Live and Die LA. I apparently need to be doing that waking up thing myself. Dark. I believe I also got this one at that retreat. They also had Fiberlicious there next to Live and Die. And so somebody was like, I would love if you knew what you were doing with this fabric. I said, that's not how I buy fabric at all. I just buy it because I like it. And then eventually I pull out a pattern and go, What goes good with that? This is called This Is My Jam. Good morning, Deborah. Got coffee, ready to stitch. What are you working on this morning? Be careful when you get the coffee near the stitch. This is a Lugana. Fiberlicious. And it is a 32 count. I'm getting just a little bit of organizing done before I start to stitch. I have water and Diet Coke because I don't drink coffee. I really need to make myself a new batch of spiced tea because I really like that when it's cold. This is my jam. I just love this color. Like, I have no idea what I would put on this. Shabby pink and blue butterfly from the TCCS full coverage. I'm not sure what TCCS is. I know as soon as you tell me, I'm going to be like, duh. The cross stitch studio. See, I knew I was getting there. I think it was supposed to be TCSS, maybe? That second C threw me off. Oh, this is bright, y'all. It's like sunshine. It's early morning sunshine. Okay. I'm not sure which way to fold this one. It's like, no, that's not gonna work. We gotta go double this way. There we go. Pre-coffee error, yeah. The brain has not activated yet. So, go. It's picking up lint off my table. There we go. Golly, that's so pretty. I need to start something on it just so I can look at it all the time. It's like sunshine. Come on. All right, so we're going to enter this one. Good morning, Kate. How are you, lovely? I missed you last night. I ended up having to go to bed early because I just could not hang after a full day in town. Just, no. Open the fridge to look for a light bulb. That's awesome. All right, this one is called This Is My Jam. Is a 32? Did I say 32? Yep. Lugana from Fiberlicious. Mhm. Hey, why didn't you add? So I didn't push the right button. Create. This one's definitely bright. And it's an orange family. Oops, wrong button. Oh, good morning from Georgia. Welcome, Anne Victoria. How are you? Ryan loved the movie. He thought it was great. They had the best time chatting about it the entire way home. So I think they're planning something again next month, even though nothing's official. Let me just say, they're friends. But they did really enjoy the movie. She's a huge fan of Marvel and Star Wars and all the things. He made sure, like, he had only ever seen the first one, so the night before they went to the movies, he watched the second one, and then I didn't grab a fabric. I'm gonna write on this card and I don't have fabric. Um, so he watched the second one before they went, so that he could watch the third one with her. This one doesn't have a name. Why do they not have names? And it says even weave. Okay, well, it's Verdal because it's 40 count. Stitch. I wish I had your system of working on those whips. Well, thank you. I enjoy my system, but let me tell you, I have changed tactics so many times that you really just have to find what works best for you. Change and change and change until something works right. It is very quickly approaching November. I have one category left to stitch on. I have one focus piece left to stitch on, and then it's catching up on my um, TV show games. So hopefully I have a very productive week this week and we get all of it knocked out. Plus I have new starts on the 29th. There's that. Oh, how do I manage that one? Okay, this will be the last of I'm making you jealous because you have a bunch of fabric to put away. Yeah, I figured I'd give everybody time to wake up and get in here this morning. I'd do a little bit of organizing before I start stitching. But I have run out of pins. I don't know how there ended up an odd number on the board. But here we go. So I may be at a stopping point. This is a 40 count Verdal. I love Verdal, y'all. It stitches up so nice. And it's one of the reasons I play the Friday Night Fights is because she has Verdal. I don't find it many other places. This is definitely. Can I show my fabric organization? Sure. So here's the few that I got today, and then I'll pull out my box. But this is my jam, and so I fold them over these cards and pin them down. These are magazine comic book board. I get them on Amazon. I get a whole like 100 of them for I want to say like $14. So these are the ones we did this morning. This is my jam, Gila, cranberry sauce, acorns, and this one that does not have a name for Verdal. So, and in the box, I was putting them in order by color, but it's really messed up right now because the last couple times we've kitted on stream, I just threw the fabrics back in the box. So you'll see that. These. So then I have a banker's box. And I just kind of slide them into. I actually have two of them. Screen's going to go over here. Black is going to go with the gray. The red is in the other box. Brown can go right through the browns. Oh look, we've got two browns. This is in the wrong clicks. So it's a little hard to see, but I can at a glance see the counts. Originally I had this on the shelf, not in a box. And so it hung off the shelf in a way that you could see the counts on the edge. And of course you can see all the other information right there at the top by easily flipping through it. So I started putting them in a box just because I had so many, and that way they're not all falling off the shelf. It looks really good, and then it slides right into the little cubby hole on the shelf. Here I have some Verdal that I need to dye that a friend sent me. And here's where we've got the reds, the blues, the purples. You can see some of, like these should probably be in the other box. I'll worry about that later. That's it. Hey, Holly, welcome in. Put this back up. My cubby holes are a mess right now, but I will show you what they look like. I just had to take a picture because I can't take the camera over there. Oop, forgot to put on. But then, this is what it looks like. Those are my two fabric boxes. These three cubby holes, like a bunch of my projects are in a crate in the house for me to take to work, but my whips would fill up all three of these cubby holes. This is fabric for backing or whatever. This is my Cricut stuff. These are my extra bags. I'm telling you, I have a really big Vic bag problem, which y'all are going to benefit from later. And then this is like stuff for my printer. It's got my labels, it's got my stuff for shipping, that sort of thing is that cubby hole. And I wish that was more organized. I'll get there eventually. So, we kind of got to a stopping point on organizing my fabric, but that doesn't mean there isn't more fabric to organize. So I'm going to put this up for now. Maybe we'll do it again next Saturday. I'll find the rest of my pins. But I have Sunflower from Be Stitch Me. Got all crinkled. This is a piece from a project a long time ago, to where I'm not even sure I have the name of it anymore. But I can go and look it up because I know what project I stitched on it. This is an Under the Sea Fabrics green. So this is just a little ornament piece that won't go on a board. Lost my stitchy bug in doing floss tubes for about a year, slowly getting back into it. Awesome. Well, not awesome that you lost your bug. Awesome that you're getting it back. That's another ornament piece. This is a cut that was previously stitched on. So I'm going to keep that with my ornament pieces. This is just a small cut is all. This is Dole Whip from Live and Die. I like yellow, so it'll go with the small pieces. This is one Lexi dyed at some point. It's purple and gray. Go with my partner. This is a full-size piece called Banshee from Bestitch Me. It's a 40 count Verdal that just needs to go onto a card next time. And this is the cut from that Biscornu that we tried to finish the other day. It didn't go so well. I was trying to find fusible fleece to go on the back of them to stabilize them so I could finish them, but Michael's didn't have any. And I was limited on time because the kids were at the movie theater, so I did get some, is it Murano? Is that what it's called? 28 count. I'm going to coffee tea dye today so that hopefully I can start the next wordplay on the 29th if I can manage to get it close enough to match all the others. Okay. I really need a tote for my small cuts. I'm going to put that on my brain list here. All right, I'm going to get to stitching now. I was just delaying a little bit this morning, but I got some stuff organized, so that's great. That's what we like to do around here. I still have all the flosses from when we did up earlier. I'll put these up real quick. Oop. You can see my Harry Potter sleeping pants. Because I came in my jammies. I hope everybody else came in their jammies. 642. We'll put up a few every once in a while when I need to stand up and stretch. You took a shower and everything? Kate came ready to party. All right, we're going to start with full coverage and get it knocked out. Totally in my jammies. So, every once in a while, by party you mean cross stitch. Yes, the cross stitch party. Although most of us cross stitch party in our jammies. Just saying. Um, so sometimes I break my own rules. Um, I just thought I'd let everybody know that rules are made to be broken and they're your rules. So who's to, there's no cross stitch police. So what I do is I do a daily 100 on the 30 days that I'm off. One week it's Alice and the next week it's Phantom. I was supposed to be on Phantom this week, but when I was sitting in my living room, Alice was right there and I didn't have to get up and go get my project. And Alice needs. Anyway, I flip flopped them. So we got Alice 2 weeks in a row, and then we'll have Phantom next week. Okay? Okay. So, there we go. I hope my volume's picking up okay. The microphone is now across the room. All right. So we are all the way over here. Try and finagle this because there we go. All right. Alice, here we go. There's one of those pins. It's holding my flosses out of the way. Pinned to my gram guard. Need a needle. I apparently left the one for this on my Lowry. Just all right. Volume's a little low. Yeah. I'm gonna show off my pattern keeper there. This should be a little bit better. Let's get these out of the way. It's not tight enough. Yes, it is. Okay. I can tell you I would not be this far on this project if it weren't for Pattern Keeper. It is a lifesaver. Especially this block that I did yesterday. It was basically like a checkerboard, you know? Well, not a perfect checkerboard. So it'd be like stitch, not stitch, stitch, not stitch, not stitch, 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 not stitch, like something like that. And then on the next, it would be opposite, with just two colors for most of it. My eyeballs would be crossways if it weren't for Pattern Keeper. Even with Pattern Keeper, it was a little difficult. I see yarn chicken going on. Uh, yeah, I gotta, well, it's only this one stitch, so it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get that, no problem. See? All good. I only really feel like I need Pattern Keeper on full coverages when it's like searching for symbols and stuff for me. Um, Otherwise I use Good Notes, but I'm spoiled by digital patterns. And so I will take my paper patterns, especially something like a Nora, or a Mira, and I will scan it in. And that's not easy to do, let me tell you, because their dimensions are so weird on their paper. You have to do a lot of folding and yada yada. But then I can put the two pieces next to each other when I'm working like on a page break or whatever. So that's super handy. And I highlight, not on the paper, on my digital. Otherwise, I would be constantly lost. Even sometimes I don't highlight enough, and then I'll put like an extra row in an arm or something. It's a mess. I am going to try and finish this one next year. I'm hoping to take a little Jessie inspiration and focus on it. And that's saying something because I don't usually focus on full coverage, and it is going to be quite a task. It's still going to need around 650 stitches a week. So we'll see. See if I can stick to it. My stick to itiveness is not always as good as I would like it to be. Paper charts are my nemesis. Yeah, so as soon as I buy a chart, it goes in a folder. And when I'm at work, I've been scanning stuff from that folder into my Google Drive. And some of them I may never get around to stitching, but I'm not hurting anything. I'm not sharing it, just I just don't like working off of paper. I'm right here at the edge too, so I'm having to work around my grime guard. So this is probably not going to be one of my favorite blocks just because I'm constantly having to like move the grime guard out of the way. I got to be careful how much weight I put on the stitching because it will just slip right out of the Lowry. It's one of the reasons I prefer my corner clamp, but it's in the house. I use my side clamp out here. Excuse me. So I watched Great British Baking Show last night, and my daily 100 this week is Gift of Giving, which is great because I love that project. So that'll be the other one we work on first thing this morning. I'm probably gonna run till about noon, um, noonish, somewhere in there. We'll see how hungry I get. Um, so we'll have 100 here on Alice, put in 100-ish on um, Gift of Giving. And then I brought World Postage Stamp to work on again because I haven't stitched on it since I last saw y'all. Um, and see where we get to on it. I need 300 more stitches to finish my focus on it. And then hopefully this afternoon I'll be able to pull out Aristocats, knock it out, and then we'll just be working on Great British Bake Off and Big Brother stitching. I'm still working on Big Brother stitching. It's been over for what? 2 weeks? Excuse me. Um, but I'm getting there. I think I just finished up, or I have one more thing to finish up, the double elimination week. Oh, and Whipco got called yesterday in case anybody missed it. The number's 14 and 16. So for me, that is my mom and my daughter. So I've got to, well, Lexi, I'll go ask later today, but my mom, I've got to send her pictures. And what do you want me to work on? That was all my parked threads. Looks like there's 3 other colors in this block, which isn't bad. Just have to find them and get used to the fact that I don't have any hair. Where's my floss card? I don't know if I have any 310 on here. Oh, I think I do. I do. That's great. Hi, Kathy. Welcome in. How are you this morning? Do you have any stitching plans today, Holly? Hoping to get some pumpkins to throw. Yesterday did not go well. Part of it because I got hit with 4 pumpkins. That was part of all my stitching that I managed to do yesterday had to go to Smashing Pumpkins. Not the band, the game. I'm doing good. Oh, I would say Haunted Mansion, but you finished it. Hi, Mom. um, yeah, I finished that one. I am doing good. Just, eat, sleep, stitch, repeat. And I pretend to work in there a little bit. It's been really nice because we're at a point in the project where we're not getting as many deliveries at work. So I get a lot of free time. I talked about you, so you showed up. So the way I do WhipGo is that everybody on my or every slot on my board is a person, and then I have that person pick from my whips. And I've stuck with WhipGo better this year because of that than ever before. And what I do is then that person will get a before and after picture of what that 500 stitches did for the project. It's pretty fun. You do. You do. Ryan was asking me yesterday, what is going on and down in Houston? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, Lori keeps posting all these videos about these jets flying over their house. I said, well, she's probably watching the air show that they have every year. They just live close enough to the base now that they can see them from their backyard. You know, I think when I first got my hair done yesterday, it hadn't finished processing because it does seem very, very light now. Much lighter than when I was irritated about it yesterday. Yep, the South Airstrip dumps out to our neighborhood. So yeah, it's like it's right there. That's fun. Unless you're trying to sleep in, then I may not be quite so fun. But it does look lighter now. Yeah. Well, and it's calmed down. Part of it may have been the styling too, that made it feel like it was, I don't know, too much. It's calmed down. And it's not like I'm going to let it hang in my face because that's never been me. But my thing was with my thyroid, I lose hair very easily. Like every time I take a shower, if I go like this, there's just clumps of hair. And so I figure daddy wasn't as thrilled as sister. um, I figure at least if I'm pulling out clumps of hair now, it's short hair versus really, really long hair because my hair was mid back. Um, so it's a little easier to maintain. Um, Plus, when it's longer, all I do is wear it in a ponytail. You never see it. So by having it short, it kind of forces me to leave it down, and so you can see my hair. Um, like I could probably pin the top of it back, but the back's too short. There is not an actual ponytail going on because the back's shorter than the front. I don't know. It's a weird cut, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just hair. It grows back. I did buy some red to put over the highlights if I decided I didn't like them, but I was gonna give it a couple days. She gave me some toner shampoo that will probably help also to make it a little less yellow. And it was so funny because the lady at the store, when I was buying the red, I told her I was going for silver. She goes, "Silver make you look old." I'm like, no. I mean, even if it does, so what? But like going gray early is a thing in my family. So my dad has always taught me to appreciate it. So, and if she knew how much actual gray hair I have, um, she, anyway, she was sweet, but I didn't need her opinion either. This color is just, it's filling up like half the block. So we're just back and forth and back and forth. You're embracing your gray too. I mean, it's a natural fact of life. It is what it is. Like, I think I was 25 when I found my first gray hair. It's fine. It's also more common if you have really dark hair to lose the pigment quicker. My gray is hard to see in the blonde. Yeah. Yeah. My mother in law has really blonde hair, or had really blonde hair too. So when she first started graying, she was just like, it's blonde, it's blonde. But now it's just white. But it's kind of nice the way that it transitioned because it was almost like one day it just wasn't blonde anymore, like it had lost its blonde color. What are you working on this morning, Kate? Nice. What the fabric and count is that you're stitching on. This is good morning, John. This is, I believe it's called Magic Guide. It may be called Easy Guide. It's a 28 count gridded even weave, so like a Lugana. um I stitch 1/1 on it because it is very small. Most people stick with 25 count or bigger. Um, and I got mine from, I might have gotten it at 123 Stitch. There was also another, I'm pretty sure I got this at 123 Stitch. It's nice because it's got the grids on it to go with the pattern. Rhiannon. So you're doing full coverage too. Of course. Yeah, and on this one, you definitely don't want to try and do two strands. It would be too thick. In fact, in some places, if the color changes enough, the one strand is too thick. But it saved me some floss because I'm using one strand instead too, and it made for a smaller finished piece, so it's not super huge. Good morning, stained glass. How are you this morning? I just keep hitting the microphone. I have a bit of a transitioning block here because there's a black that's going to kind of come around like this, but then we're going to get into something different down here. Oops. We've all been seeing Jessie going ham on Personal Sunshine. Like she's got less than 6,000 stitches left. That's crazy. Doing well. Mickey Mouse is on the TV entertaining the little, and I can join in here. Very nice. Nice, calm mornings. Lexi was always good for a calm morning because back when she was little bitty, I would have to take my husband to work so that we had the car during the day. So we were up really early, and I don't do early mornings so well. So she would lay next to me on the couch and she would watch something while I dozed off a little bit. And she would sit in the floor and play with something. Thank you. I'm learning to love it. Only cuz it's not what I asked for. I wanted there to be more shape around the face, not this like straight bob cut, but I'm I'm getting there. It's growing on me. So, put some highlight in it. Just trying to change it up a little bit cuz I was always just throwing it in a ponytail and leaving it. No fun. Thank you. Thank you. I'm liking it. I'm getting there. It's always a transition, right? When it's long, it's a little too easy to just throw it up and forget about it. And sometimes I would go to bed with my ponytail still in, which isn't good for your hair either. Didn't help with all the falling out that it was doing. So, Making our way through this block. It's kind of nice when there's a little bit of confetti and a little bit of block stitching. So it's kind of quick, but yet not boring. Does anybody have plans for Halloween? This will be the first Halloween in several years that I'm actually off. Of course, I'm also day shift now, so being off wasn't necessarily a necessity. I get home by 7 o'clock every day, but it is going to be interesting. I think Lexi has to decorate for the pep rally, so I'll probably be going up there and helping her with that. Um, so we're probably not going to have a stream on Thursday this week. Um, unless I do it in the middle of the afternoon, like 2 o'clock. Hmm, we'll see. Um, so she has to decorate for pep rally, and Ryan mentioned going out and hanging out with his friends, but we hadn't nailed down any plans yet. I want to say it's their last home game, so it's their last pep rally, I think. I could be wrong. There could be one more. I know it's senior night, so they're going to celebrate all the seniors this week. Which I don't know if we have any seniors on the cheer team. I think Lexi's the oldest as a junior. We apparently lost pretty badly last night, but it was kind of to be expected. Can I ask, when you have a paper chart, do you work off of it or do you use an app? If app, what are some of the best practices for getting it into the app? So what I do is I will take, I don't work off of the paper chart. I will take any paper chart that I have, use my scanner on my printer to scan it in so that it's the most even, because sometimes when you try and take a picture with your phone, things like that, it will come out crooked. So I scan it in with the printer. Also, when I scan it in, it scans it in as a PDF instead of like as a picture. Um, and then I save it to a Google Drive. I upload it to my Google Drive. Dropbox works too. And then I use iPad. So my iPad has an app called Good Notes. I purchased it. Um, I want to say it was like $20, but I'm not purchasing it every year. It's a one-time purchase. Um, and then I just upload it into there. And then it has like a highlighter tool, an eraser tool, things like that. So you can't search the symbols. You can't, like, it doesn't count for you, anything like that. It's simply to be able to highlight, move the page around, zoom in. Zoom in is a big thing. Um, I can open two windows in GoodNotes and have two pages sitting next to each other. So I can, like, if you're on a page break, you can have both pages where you can go back and forth. Um, there's also an app called Markup XP that works really well for that. Um, some people can add it into Pattern Keeper and they'll line up the grids just right and it will count for them. It won't search, but it'll count. I don't do that. I only use Pattern Keeper for my full coverages that come naturally as a PDF. And the really cool thing about GoodNotes is it syncs seamlessly to the cloud. So if I leave my iPad at home, I can work the pattern off of my phone. It's not pleasant, but I can do it. I have a regular size iPad and a mini iPad. Um, so like if I'm working in the car, I usually use the smaller one, that sort of thing. They all communicate with each other. Markup XP does not have the communication, and of course Pattern Keeper does not yet. You can export and import, but then you need somebody that can do that for you if you don't have the tablet with you. Spend 30 minutes trying that method with Pattern Keeper. I've heard that a lot of people, like, I know it's possible, but it's not worth my time to try and figure it out. I had the same problem with Markup XP. Like, it wants to line up the grid, so if it's not scanned in perfectly straight, it's a headache. Uh, but I've even known people to go as far as like getting a stitch program like WinStitch or MacStitch and going and recharting a chart themselves just so that they can use it in Pattern Keeper. And I'm talking about like your Mirabilias, your Noras, things like that. Um, Jessie Marie does it sometimes. I think it's super ambitious. It's not something I would do, but I think the idea is great if you have the patience. Where's my phone? Mm. Good morning, Laurel. We still working on trick or treat today? I mean, I know you're not working on anything right now, but it's what, 8 a.m. there? Or 7? 8, right? All right, we finished the black finally. Next color. You're going to work on travel memories. Very nice. Hi, Tina. Welcome in. Agreed. May try the scanner today. There was a glare on the picture. Yeah. Um, I know they have like scanner apps and stuff for the phone, but you're still subject to everything else, whereas the scanner on the printer is an enclosed space. Or, I mean, it's an additional expense. But what I have for when I'm at work, because I'm not taking, okay, we all know me. I've taken my printer to work before. Um, just load up that whole thing. But I ended up buying um, it's about this long, square, and it plugs into my computer, and I can scan in through it. Good morning, Lori. Welcome in. What is that? Mm. Handheld scanner. Yeah, like um basically. It pulls it through like it feeds, but it's only like this wide, you know? It's pretty cool. I bought it because like I said, I was loading up my big old printer scanner combo into the car and taking it to work. I'm a little ridiculous. I know this. But I'm there for 12 hours. Like the amount of work I can get done while I'm there, and I'm not, I mean, I'm interrupted by work, but minimally. Especially back then because I worked nights. Like I wouldn't see anybody all night. I could get so much stuff done. 9:38. That's the wrong one. I need to clean up My stitch cards, they're a mess. And the one I bought on Amazon for like $100, I think. And it works great, except it doesn't really like paper folds. So you have to make sure you're hand feeding it very carefully because at the fold it'll get caught and then it'll like stretch the pattern out. It's really funny looking. My fabric for a new start was supposed to show up yesterday. Grr, next week for sure. What new start? What were you supposed to be starting? Yeah, my Be Stitch Me fabric says it's going to be here today, but welcome in, Lore. How are you this morning? Um, I did a little bit of organizing before I started stitching this morning, and I was putting fabric on the magazine, not comic book board to put up, and I was like, oh, maybe my Be Stitch Me fabric will be in today. And it says it is, but it also says like the last check-in was in Illinois. So unless it's in Texas before like 6 a.m., it's not making it to my house today. Jimmy from Hade. Hmm. I don't know that one. Of course, Hade has so many patterns, you can never know them all. It's Saturday. I have to go back to work tomorrow. But it'll be a quiet day at work. I say that, so now it won't be. It's a dragon from Dragon Muse, baby dragon paint posing. Oh, cute. I'm fairly new to cross stitch. In your opinion, does it seem like more designers are jumping on the pattern keeper markup bandwagon, or are they reluctant? Um, when it comes to full coverage, I think they're all about the pattern keeper. There are some designers that when they put out a digital pattern, they will make sure it's pattern keeper compatible, but I don't feel like yet it's where most designers are going. I think most still try and keep to paper, um, because the biggest problem with digital patterns is that you can't control, I mean, you can't control paper patterns either, but you have even less control over people sharing it because you've already made it so accessible. You jinx yourself. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I used to be a CNA. I understand. Hello, I just started a Hade. Welcome in, Slumo. Slow-mo. What Hade did you start? This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. I don't purchase from them anymore, but back when I did, this was one I already had. Just slow-mo. Okay. Um, so, and there's so many full coverage companies out there now, but I think a lot of it is Hade has the constant sales and it makes it easier for people to obtain. Oh, I did that line wrong. We are almost done with this block and then I'll be switching projects. A lot of designers do put up digital copies of their patterns also. Yeah, you are seeing more and more of it. I think um because it's a digital world, you know what I mean? Like it's more accessible, you don't have to pay shipping costs, you know. The overhead is so much lower on digital. I try not to purchase from them anymore either. I know all the drama, but I have been eyeing this pattern for almost a decade, so sacrifices to morals are sometimes made. I understand. Um, Michelle and I had a personal conflict. That's why I don't purchase from them anymore, but it isn't going to stop me from stitching on the stuff I had purchased previously. And even after I stopped purchasing from them, I still had a wish list and I had people send me a few things from my wish list. Well, I'm not going to not stitch on it. That money's already spent, right? And there's the fact that sometimes you can't find that pattern anywhere else. So you do what you have to do. And that's why I don't even go look because I know. I know I'm weak. And I'll be like, I have to have that. Holly's little wrench of power. All right. I'm going to park that thread. How do you count your stitches when using GoodNotes? So when I highlight, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I have an app called Counter, and I'll click it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I set them side by side. I can show you. Where's my tablet? I just had it. Where to put it? Maybe. Where did I put mine? Feel like it's probably right in front of my face and I'm missing it. That's back by Josephine Wall, but I had to request max colors. The regular was just not good enough. I understand that too. I actually stopped stitching on one of the Amy Stewart's because when I realized this white blob was supposed to be an owl, yeah, no. You need, some of them just require max colors. I just had it because I was putting fabric in. Stuff walk away when you don't ever leave your, like, I've been sitting here the whole time. It's purple. Oh, it fell in a bag. Oh, all right. So let me open up GoodNotes. Okay, I'm gonna have it very zoomed in so you can only see a small piece. But I will have my GoodNotes here and my counter app here. And so when I go and highlight, let's say these 5, then I will just click 5 over here. And so I haven't stitched on this today, which is why you don't see anything, but um, this is all the stitches I've done on this one this week. So um, GoodNotes, well, let me move to an area that doesn't have. Okay, so I will just highlight 3, click 3. Undo that so that it doesn't mess up. I haven't entered into Notions. but it's a matter of that. And then when I go to Notions and I want to enter, I can go into this little history. And like yesterday, I did 115. Thursday, I did 98. And then I can go and put those into Notions that way. So that's how I count with GoodNotes. I've been stitching for about 45 years. I find that it is still a matter of preference for charts. I use paper, but my HAEDs are on PK because they're too big. Yeah. I know a lot of people who still prefer paper charts, and I don't, I like being able to highlight that way, and um, it also has an eraser tool, as you might have noticed that I went back and erased it, um, which is really big for me because I mess up a lot. So there's that. Okay, we're on our last color. Let's see. 3031. Like this whole next block, the one underneath this one, is like 3 different shades of brown. Are you really gonna notice? We could have just done it all in brown. One brown. I That's two things I feel Pattern Keeper lacks. I wish I could reset the stitches for the day. Amen. And I wish it would keep track of stitches per day in a history. Yes. I cannot tell you how many times I have worked on a full coverage and then I realize I didn't update Notions and you can't go back and see what you did that one day. Drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. That's probably one of my biggest complaints with Pattern Keeper. That and doing a cloud backup, because I can't tell you how many people don't know to export their stuff regularly and their tablet crashes and now they've got to remark up everything. I won't use PK if it only partially works. If I can't search or mark with the scanning patterns in, I'll stitch from paper instead. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, everybody has their own what they need from it. Like a lot of what I use Pattern Keeper for when I'm working on a full coverage is being able to search for the symbol so I make sure I don't miss something. It's um I do appreciate the fact that it counts for me, but I don't necessarily need that. If that went away, I could live, right? So my big thing is searching for symbols and being able to mark where I parked my threads, because I PK and your counter app had an archive. That's why I've tried a few counter apps and I like this one best. It also is cloud based. So that number, I can pull it up on my phone. I can pull it up on my other iPad. It's it They communicate. So that's why I stick with that particular counter. Um but yeah, I needed to search symbols and I like for it to show me where I parked something, because highlights can get erased. Um, and sometimes, like if I have this marked as parked, and you see it's 3 away from the last one. Well, maybe it was supposed to only be 2 and I wasn't paying enough attention. I I will I'll see it marked on there and be like, "Oh, it was supposed to be over 1, but it's the right color." Also, I like that it shows the color when you select the number. Um, hey Enid, welcome in. I do a waist thread, which is, I will, give me 1 second, let me put this stitch in and park it. So when I start a new thread, I come a couple blocks over to where it's not going to be mistaken for anything, and I just pull through until I leave a little bitty tail. And then I start my stitching, and I start all the way over at the left and stitch this way, so you are covering up that stitching as you're going, and it's anchored. I could go and cut this right now and it's no problem. I'll show you my back here. So here's what it did. It went across and then there are stitches over it. It doesn't look like it, but there are. And so I can go back and I can clip this. Or as you can see, I just kind of leave them. They get covered up, they get pulled out of the hole, and then, like, see, it's not even an issue now. It's called a waste thread. And if you're trying to conserve thread, it's not the best way to go. But I don't like constantly turning over my project. Because the other thing I'll do is if I don't park, like these are parked, because these are where I'm going to stitch on them first in the next block. If I'm not parking, then I will pull them over here, bring them out, and clip them, um, so that they'll get covered up by whatever stitched in these blocks. But is it available for Android? Probably not. You know how Apple is. So, all right, I finished the block right here. That's, so we're all the way down to the bottom of the row, or of the, yeah, of the diagonal. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I have it marked right here. This is where the um, bottom of the design is. Um, these two right here are in a separate page, but I'll just stitch them all together because it's only 2 blocks. That's great. I think it's fun to learn and be able to ask. That's one of the reasons the lives are really cool. And sometimes if it's a controversial question, you can get opinions from a bunch of different people. Hey, Rita Marie, how are you this morning? So I just finished up my daily 100 on Alice. Since we have several people here that haven't joined us before, I just want to do a quick reminder that we play a game on the lives where you try and guess how many stitches we got while on the live today. Um, you can guess at any point during the stream, beginning, end, right before you leave. Either way, currently on 700 stitches today. Goodness, girl. Um, so at any point, you can make a guess. At the end of the stream, I will see who gets closest to how many I actually stitched, and your name will go into a drawing. We are having the drawing today. Um, so there's that. Um, I've done 100, exactly 100 stitches on this because it's a block. The next thing is also a daily 100, but I sometimes stitch more than 100. And then whatever we get on the third project after that, at noon, I will see who's the closest. I don't typically count as I go so that I don't have a preconceived number for y'all. But I just want to let you know that there will be at least 200 stitches on stream today. So if you make a guess, make it over 200 because 100 on this, 100-ish on the other one. And then whatever we get to the last time we didn't even work on a third one. I was a mess. All right, so now my next daily 100 is, hello Susa, welcome in. Just gonna pretend like I didn't butcher your name because it's a possibility. I'm not very good at that. We've got thread in the zipper. There we go. All right, so this is Gift of Giving from Little Stitch Girl. I absolutely love this one. It is on a 32 count Lugana in Diversity from Mystic Fabrics. So we're gonna have at least, oh, let me highlight my pattern keeper. Park, check. All right. Pattern Keeper is on Android 4.1 or later. Yeah, yeah. Pattern Keeper is Android only. I had to go buy a whole tablet just for Pattern Keeper. It's kind of crazy. She was talking about the Counter app is probably iPad exclusive because especially something cloud-based like that, they tends to um, you know, be exclusive. So yes, I walk around with a tablet and an iPad just to have the programs that I want to use. I actually used a Google phone for a little while until I got that. It's a Samsung Tab A, I think. Yes, Pattern Keeper can be loaded onto a computer if you download BlueStacks, because BlueStacks is an Android emulator. So anything that you can download onto an Android, you can download onto BlueStacks. I bought a pencil case that holds 200 pencils. I'm using it for floss, kind of like Jesse's. I thought that was so cool. It has panels with elastic hoops. It will hold 2 projects that share colors. There you go. What is your biggest pattern? Actively? It's the mini Alice in a Dolly Dream, which is actually a mini. It's like 77,500 stitches. But I have the Magic Study from Rose Con through Heaven and Art Designs, and it's huge. I don't even know. Oh, I also have um Life's an Open Bookshelf Paris. Hold on, I gotta pull up my pattern keeper. They're just kind of on the back burner until one of my other full coverages get done. So, cancel. See, Magic Study is 416,000 stitches. And Life's an Open Book Paris is only 301,000. 402. So yeah, I think my biggest one is Magic Study. And it looks like this. Reminds me so much of my daughter. It's got dragons and witch hat. It's kind of like one of those seek and finds. What all can you find while you're looking at this picture? I absolutely adore it. And I know that is it Charting Creations has this one now? Pain Free Crafts. And then I restart it because I know I will like that much better. It's tempting, isn't it? Because I've heard that they do better when it comes to the confetti. Um, and they have both the original and the rainbow, right? I think Sarah was talking about it the other day. She was tempted to buy it and check it out. Because if I restart it, let's see. Let me see here. Boop, back. I am 4,400 stitches in. So I am just well, I've almost got the first page done. But if I were to rebuy it, I would probably do some editing to where it's not quite as big. They have both versions. The charting is better. Ooh. Why are you doing this, Rita Marie? Now I need to go look. I have actually not stitched anything from Pain Free Crafts, so I'm gonna have to take your word on it. But I do know that, or I've heard that both Pain Free Crafts and Charting Creations, which are now starting to get some of the designers that Haid used to have, um, chart better. The learning curve on markup is very steep. Yes. It takes a minute to figure it out. I have the Aristocats on markup. But did she buy the Pain Free Crafts one? You're doing this to give yourself an excuse to do it yourself. If we all jump on the bandwagon, Rita Marie will have to do it. All right. So I need 100 stitches on this project. My camera's crooked. Okay. So where are we starting today? It helps if I pull up the actual pattern. We go. What do we need? What color is that? Where's my colors? This one's a whole mess. Like, pink. Yeah. Okay. So this pattern says, as we gather around the tree, lights aglow for all to see, Christmas spirit in the air, passing presents wrapped with care. Of all the gifts that have been given, the best gift is the gift of giving. Super cute. Also, worth noting that Pain Free Crafts, the cover photo is the actual mock up, so what you see is literally what you get. That's good to know, too. So there's not that whole color discrepancy. Bat's back is big. 488,750 is, say, at least 70% confetti. I'll be working on it forever. Yeah, so I've had, now granted, I don't put a lot of effort into my full coverages. Like, I know plenty of people set aside extra time or they do big focus. Right now, I do 100 stitches 3 days a week on my full coverage. But Alice is 6 years old. I told my sister when I started stitching it that it would take at least 10 years. It's 6, and I'm hoping to finish it next year. But it's so much smaller than the others. I think Alma or someone said that Nikki at Charting Creations is the one that used to go over the charts when she was at Haid. And I was like, oh, well, that explains a lot. And that's what I've heard. Yeah. Is that she proofs, because they take an image, they put it into a program, and it auto charts things for them. And then they have to go through and they have to clean it up, make it less colors, make it more colors, get those little ninja stitches that don't make any sense. Um, and I think over time, in best effort to mass produce new charts, some of that has slipped through and not happened like it should. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from. And I've had this conversation with multiple people, so I didn't just hear it from one source. But let me be clear, this is things I have heard, not things that I know personally. Like I said, the only hard feelings I have towards Heaven and Earth Designs is the fact that she accused me of sharing patterns based on false information from somebody who didn't like that I called them out for sharing patterns in my group, and I kicked them out. And so they went to Michelle and they told her that I was sharing patterns, which I wasn't. I was doing a giveaway that somebody had purchased. It was all going to be legit and on the up and up. I was going to go to Haid and do the whole transfer thing, with the emails. I never even got that far because, and the thing is, okay, you made a mistake. You said I did something I didn't, and that's fine. But, um, she, when it was proven to her that I was not, um, doing illegal things, she didn't apologize. She didn't, like, she called my name out to her entire group saying I was this big evil person, but then when she realized I wasn't, she didn't go tell those same people that I'm not an evil person. So You're not going to get my money if you can't apologize. If you can't tell people that I'm not, it was drama. It was ugly. If you can't say it, I will. I don't even think that. I know for a fact the quality is dipped. They don't make sure similar symbols aren't next to each other anymore either. No. Well, and now there's the whole AI issue. So like, I don't know. I just okay, that's slow. She publicly accused you and owed you a public apology. Yes. And there are several people in this chat right now that were witness to the entire thing. So it's not me just being sensitive or anything like that. They saw. Um Also, I was very appreciative that some of the people that were in the group that knew what was going on went to bat for me and her group. So they were like, there's no way this person would ever do something like that, which I appreciate. You want your friends to see the true you despite what somebody else will say about you. So, and now they're one, I don't stitch enough full coverage for it to be an issue. Um to not shop from a specific designer. But then there are so many out there. You got Pain Free Crafts, Charting Creations, Cross Stitch Studio. Um, oh, what's that other one that always goes on sale? Tilton? Is it Tilton Crafts? Or am I thinking of something else? There's that other one that has sales a lot. Whoops. But at the same time, I I don't talk about it a lot because I don't want to influence other people's decision. I'm not trying to take her business down or anything just cuz she didn't say she was sorry. It's just it's my personal choice to not shop from her. I'm finding full coverage designers that I like better because the quality control is higher so the charts are easier to stitch and look just as good if not better. That's gotten me. She said she'd not use AI, then uses them. I've wondered what happened, but missed all that. I've wondered. Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was like I said, I just choose it's a personal choice. I know there are people out there that don't like weak style works, but they want to campaign against them. They want to drag everybody with them. I'm not doing that. Stitch on your hate. I stitch on a hate. I'm just not giving her any more of my money. I went to a head con and was disgusted at the attitude in the room by fellow stitchers, by her. I haven't been to other cons. I want to, but head con left a sour taste in my mouth. So, what's a head con like? Like, uh, is it a bunch of people sitting around stitching like StitchCon is, or is it more like a Comic Con where everybody like there's booths set up and people are showing off stuff? Artisy, that's the one I'm thinking of. Tilton Craft, cross stitch for everyone, so beautiful. That's not mentioning the big rabbit hole that is Etsy. Oh, let's not even get started on Etsy. Like it's just, whoo. Probably Tilton. She's always threatening to close if people don't buy. That's probably the one I'm thinking of. But Artisy too. I thought you handled the whole thing very professionally too. Thank you. Cross stitch for everyone and Stitch is so beautiful are also great both on Etsy. Do you remember the big thing with her and Nikki? That was horrible. See, and I think that was even before my time. So I didn't know about some of the previous issues when I was having mine. And actually, like I said, fawning over Michelle. Is that what the whole thing is? Um, well, see, people become fans, super fans. I know that Nora has a following that is super impressive. Um, and there was so much more to that drama, like outside of um what Michelle and I, that whole issue. But the person who had went to her because I kicked them out of my group, and let me tell y'all, I've been running the group 6 years. No, 8 years, something like that. It's been a long time that I've had Virtual Stitchers, which is a group that you can join, and we have a Zoom room and you can come hang out with people, right? Or you can at least come in the group and say, hey, does anybody want to jump on a Facebook chat or whatever? It's been a long time that I've had this group, and I've kicked one person out. Like, we've removed some people from the group for inactivity, but this person was kicked out, banned, because she would get into private messages with people and be like, here, I will send you this pattern that I finished, but she doesn't send it to you in the mail. She scans it in, she sends it via email, and she doesn't, like, if you could, there was times I would be like, "No, that's okay, thank you." And she would still send it to my email. So now it looks like we're pattern sharing, right? So we ended up kicking her out of the group, and she didn't much appreciate that. So that's why um she went to Michelle and told her I was pattern sharing. She threatened my kids. She would take pictures off of people's Facebooks and put animal superimpose animal parts over their face and send them to everybody. She was just a very ugly person. I don't regret in the least kicking her out of the group, but man, the headache we were having to deal with right around that time was insane. Michelle was also super rude to two of my friends. They ran businesses that in no way were in competition to Hade, but she saw them as a threat. It was ugh. Yeah. See, there's just no reason to be like that. Like, we're all just trying to make a living. We're all sharing our art, you know? Um, it's senseless. Even, I mean, you can only have so much competition in this because it's a creativity, unless they're literally taking stuff off your website and selling it themselves. It was bad too because that chart was so cute. Oh yeah, though it was it was for the fires in Australia. It was a charity thing that they were doing, and somebody had bought a few of them in an effort to donate, and then was like, "Here, let's give one away." And it was a mess. It was a long time ago too. So like this it's not even an issue anymore. It really isn't. Yeah, this person that was in our group would get on Zoom, and let me be clear, I don't know her personal situation. She told everybody that she was deaf. Um and she very well could have been, but there were things that made you question that. So, she was just drama. Unnecessary drama. Because, like, we all stitch to create drama, right? That's why we do this thing. I'm thinking that the M&M chart she was stitching, I thought that's what she was offering to share. Oh, okay, yeah. It was one of them. Pretty much any chart she owned, she was sharing. And I mean not just offering to share, like sending to you without your permission. It was bad. And I mean, I don't know what the situation is in other countries when it comes to copyright rules. And she supposedly lived in another country, so maybe she just really didn't understand. But she also didn't understand no thank you. And that's that's a pretty important one. I can't speak to all hate cons, only the one I've been to. It was a bunch of people stitching together, but there were also booths. Hade was selling things and a few designers were there. Okay, so that's similar to like StitchCon or really most retreats. I just didn't know like if it was I would it's funny because we call them cons, conventions, right? Even though when you think of like Comic Con, it's not just a bunch of people sitting around talking about comics. It's people dressed up, it's booths, it's selling things. It's a I mean, I guess it's similar, but I much prefer the sitting around and stitching and chatting type situation. I've been to StitchCon. I went the first year that they had StitchCon, and I really enjoyed it. It's gotten a lot bigger since then, so I really don't know if I would enjoy it at this point or not. But hello, I'm glad I caught you today. I am trying to speed crochet a baby gift before 3:30 p.m. and it's nearly noon. Ooh, get it, girl. Welcome in, Ashley. It's 100% a retreat. You just called a con. Yeah, basically. That basically. Oops. And I've been to a few different retreats. I try my best. The last couple of years I haven't done so well, but I try to go to a different one each year so I get to experience different people, different ways of having a retreat, um, things like that. But really, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I just want to like call my friends and us all just have a meetup versus an actual retreat. Because retreats are getting more and more expensive. They because they want to have giveaways, they want to have gifts, and all that stuff's great and fun. But at the end of the day, the reason I go is to see my friends. Because for whatever reason, we can't all live next door to each other. I think it's crap, but it's it's life. We don't all live next door to each other. Also, I think I realized, yep, I did this whole border in black and it's supposed to be in gray. I'm not pulling that out. That symbol is now black. Stitching Retirement Community. Yes, ma'am. Yep. I'm going to attempt an in real life craft group soon. That's great. I know they have them like in San Antonio and Dallas. I live too far away from anything like that. In fact, out where I live, I've heard of exactly one other stitcher. She does live in Odessa. We've spoken a couple times, but we haven't like gotten together or anything. So, all right. Next color. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Let's go ahead and, oh, look. So Santa's clothes here are in Turkish red. There was a raffle. If you started something new and got 100 stitches on it, you'd get a ticket. A woman had charted something herself to make for her son. She was proud to share this fact. Her ticket was revoked. Wow, but like I said, the attitude of people was off. I was trying to go around and trying to spark conversation, asking about floss tube and stuff, but was shut down. And working on or even talking about other designers was not allowed. Yeah, I will not be going to a hate con. Oh goodness, that's just wrong. It hasn't ever really panned out in the past, but I figure may as well give it a shot. It's not stitching specific though. I should bring a beginner's kit or something in case somebody wants to learn. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I thought about doing that here. We have like a farmer's market every Saturday. I think it ended in September, but anyway, during the summer, there's a farmer's market and anybody can go up there and set up a booth and sell whatever they want. So I thought about trying to sell some of my stock. And I thought about having some simple kits for like when the kids come by and even just giving some away to kids to spark interest. Um, I never got around to it, but maybe by next summer I'll be more prepared. You're going to get an ad in a couple minutes, slow-mo. There was a rough, oh, yeah. So, like I said, fawning over Michelle. Yeah. It's not my type of thing. What project is that? It's called Gift of Giving from Little Stitch Girl. And it looks like this when it's all said and done. Come on, focus. It's really cute. And she charted this one, but she also charted ornaments that go along with it. And each of them has the different characters like Frosty or the elves. Um, there's 3 for the elves, there's 3 for Frosty, there's 3 for Rudolph, and I want to say there's 3 for Santa. And they're made kind of to look like gift tags. Helps if you go back to the chart. This is a variegated specialty floss, so I am stitching each square or each stitch individually. I don't think so. So, the characters at the bottom are really big. So I don't think this one's going to be finished this year. Um, does she still make charts? I haven't seen her in quite some time. I don't know. I actually haven't seen her do anything. I saw she had some stuff at market, but maybe she's just hitting the bigger stuff. Awesome. Stitch some Christmas. This one is my daily 100 right now because I assigned it to a person in Great British Baking Show and they got Star Baker this week. Um, but so I do a thing called Finish That Stitch December, in which I take all of my current whips that feel like they could get a finish if they had some focus, and I focus on them in December. And I start with one until it's finished, and then I grab the next one. I think I might have 10 for this December that I feasibly think I can finish. It's really cute. Yeah. I wonder if she's at Stitch West this weekend. You should message Sarah and ask. Because she usually goes to that retreat. But yeah, I know she had a couple designs at market, so maybe she's just doing the bigger release dates. Also, I haven't seen her floss tube in a little bit. Is your group on Facebook? Yes. Yes, it's called Virtual Stitchers. It's on Facebook. And you have to answer the questions and then we'll let you in. We're not real particular. Can't get answer. Oh, okay. I will answer you after the ad is done. Are you back? Says the ads are done, so. Okay. So I do have a group on Facebook. It's called Virtual Stitchers. And we don't do a lot of managing and stuff in there. One of the admin posts something every day, um, like Stitchy holiday or those weird holiday calendars, and then we just post whether or not we have stitching that matches it. But there's a group there's people on the group that will get on um like Friday nights and Zoom. Our Zoom room is open 24/7, but it's just not as active as it used to be because there are so many groups out there that have Zooms. But um, if you happen to join on a Zoom, whoever is on, well, first you can put a shout out in the group, hey, I'm on Zoom. Anybody want to come hang? And if anybody sees it, they might join you. But if you happen to join on a Friday night when the core group is there, um, they're going to say hi to you. They're going to ask what you're stitching on, and then they're going to give you time to get acquainted, you know, not push you to have to talk or anything like that. We want people to feel included, but we also want them to feel comfortable. And like, I do better when I'm spoken to initially. Some people don't. Um, so it's a pretty good group. I enjoy them. I was on there last night. I didn't stay on for very long because I was tired, but jumped on for about an hour. You sure I didn't click a wrong button? That would have been bad. Bye. White. It's our favorite color to stitch with. That was sarcasm. These knob's gonna be ready to move here pretty soon. I may even do that before I work on it next week. Oh, I'm missing a couple stitches right there. I need to get that first. But anyway, because it's my daily 100 all week, I want to make sure I have enough room. Holy moly, weekends are bonkers all up in here. We're chatty today. It's good. Enid's like, I stepped away for 1 minute. Well, and this thing stitches up quickly too, because like bulk blocks of stitching, all of this green. So like we're already halfway to our daily 100. Stitch? How? I get the benefit of not having to type, so I can stitch just fine. My cat-o'-lantern looks hilarious without ears. I was working on Moonlight Sampler last week, the week before, and we put a pic on Insta. Okay. And I got most of the owl stitched, everything but the head. Instagram. Did you update it too? Yeah. Is this the one you're talking about? No ears. Oh, this is that Satsuma Street, right? So you can kind of see behind there what it's supposed to look like. And then this is where she's at right now. Super cute. I like Satsuma Street stuff. To stitch the whole thing before I attach the sequins and beads. Yeah, that's how I stitch too. Like I'm working on that Mill Hill kit right now, which will hopefully be a finish tomorrow. Um, and I do all the stitching before beads because I don't want my extra floss to get wrapped around a bead or something while I stitch. That'd just be annoying. This fabric is just gray enough for the white to show up, but such a light gray. I like it. Yeah, no, that would be frustrating. Major delusional counting today. Totally thought I could finish this fill in. That's probably going to be me tomorrow too. Well, in fact, there was one day last week I was like, "Oh, we're going to finish stitching this mill hill tomorrow no matter what." And then I got my 100 stitches in and went, no. Just finished Night Owl by Satsuma Street and we'll finish Miss Witch today too. Only beads and sequins left. Very nice. I need to order some of her stuff. She doesn't allow me to sell on Facebook though. So like I would have to basically like take pre-orders or something. She has a lot of rules about her how her stuff is sold. Basically have all the Halloween Satsuma Street kits and one Christmas one. Gotta run, helping a buddy move. Cute Stitch, catch your replay. Have a wonderful day, Lori. I hope the moving goes quick and smooth because it's not fun. Now I want to go order some of those kits because I think I need them. I got an email that Catalina is in stock on the Satsuma Street website a few days ago. I can order from her wholesale, so I need to do that. I can have them in the shop. I just can't share them on Facebook. I have to put them on my website or just have them. There's some very weird noises going on outside. It's a divorce situation. She bought her own place. It will be a good move. Okay. Have a wonderful day. At least then I imagine you're only moving half the stuff. Not all of it. Let's see where we're at. I'm gearing up for Jingle Ball. Who all's going to Jingle Ball? I haven't decided yet. I'm not very good at being active. Like, I didn't join anything last year. I need somebody to drag me along. Like, I know Cheryl's going to be doing it, so maybe I'll just tag along everywhere Cheryl goes, I'll go. Absolutely go. This is year 3 for me, and I still haven't quite figured out the chat rooms. I went the first year. Um, Mostly what I did was I just listened in on all the designers. So I haven't. It's not a matter of figuring out the chat rooms. It's a matter of getting up the courage to go in there. Look, the reason I run virtual stitchers is because it's my safety blanket, right? I know that it's people come and see me versus me having to go and see other people. It's dumb, I know, but introvert, you know? once you get me started talking, I'm fine. It's that initial walking into a room of people and being like, is everybody in here looking at me and judging me? I don't know. It's one of the reasons all the retreats I go to, I know somebody there that I can cling to. Sometimes it's multiple somebodies, but always at least one person. When um I signed up for a retreat back in July. It was a new retreat. I didn't know anybody that was going. I told myself I was going to be brave and put myself out there, and I almost didn't go. Turns out one of my buddies from a retreat that I went to in June was also going to be there, so I ended up going. But I almost chickened out. She almost chickened out. We kind of did that for each other. I tend towards introversion and have anxiety and stuff. Same. Same, same. All right. We got at least 100 stitches in here. There's a few extra. I won't tell you how many. And we're going to switch to our next project. So this was Gift of Giving from Little Stitch Girl. We put at least 100 stitches into it. So we are at least at 200 today, if you want to make a guess at where we'll be by the end of stream. Please do that. So now I'm going to pull out rolled postage stamp. And we have a little under 45 minutes to see what we can get in on it. This is my focus piece, one of 5 focus pieces that I have. This one gets 500 stitches every month, and it's really made some good progress on it. 267 for Kate. Okay. Where's my notes? Where's my pen? Betty says 383. So where were we? Oh, I left the thread on the back. I need my needle back. Rita Marie says 320. I'll write it down just as soon as I get this needle threaded. Does everyone in your personal life call you Rita Marie? Or do they just call you Rita? I have a couple people that call me Sammy, but for the most part, I'm Sam. Samantha always makes me feel like I'm in trouble. Maybe I should not be doing this with my left hand. Okay. There we go. And I'm not sure why, but all of a sudden I have one of the songs from Stitch, from Lilo and Stitch, stuck in my head. Random. Because I can't even remember the last time I heard this song or the last time I watched Lilo and Stitch. But yet, here we are. Norwegian, I'm just Rita, but in English, I'm Rita Marie. And feeling of being in trouble is why in Norwegian I can't handle both names. Then they sound different in English, so it's fine. That is very interesting. I that is interesting. So in your native tongue, getting the first and middle name is like, oh my goodness. But then in a different language, it's not so bad. I like that. That's cool. Stained glass says 275. I think it's funny because like I don't think twice about the fact that people call me Sammy or Sammy J. Um, like when I'm at retreat or when I'm on Zoom, things like that. But that's not something I'm called on the regular. My grandma called me Sammy Joe my entire life. And she was really the only one until like my husband kind of picked up on it and he'll call me Sammy sometimes. But then otherwise it's just my stitchy friends. 250, my guess, if we're guessing what I think we're guessing. Yeah, just how many stitches I did this stream. No person in English can actually pronounce my name correctly in Norwegian way, but I don't mind. I like having a version of my name that is international. My husband has the oh yeah, that letter in his name. So it really, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't try to pronounce his name. I would probably butcher the heck out of it. Slow mo, you're gonna get a ad in about 2.5 minutes, just so you know. And anybody else that's on Twitch, it doesn't tell me. But to be fair, there are English names that I avoid pronouncing just because I don't want to butcher it. So this block I'm stitching on is Serengeti. So right now I'm kind of outlining the word. But my husband's name consists of two Norwegian words, Tor, which is Thor in English, and Bjorn, which is bear in English. So everyone just calls him TB. So his name stands for Thor Bear. That's cute. Which is in the ad break. Yep, he is Thor Bear. I would absolutely be like the pet name if it were my husband. I'd be like, oh, my little Thor Bear. The middle of the E. So it's right here. Sometimes when I don't highlight, I'm like, this doesn't look right. Because you've already stitched that stitch. His mom called him that when he was little. I am forbidden to use that as a nickname. I can imagine. I can imagine. He's like, nope. Coke Zero. Yeah, I brought out a Diet Coke, but I haven't busted it open yet. Your guilty pleasure. That is not in the right place. Stay caffeinated, stitch faster. I definitely need to get some stitches in today. I need to be able to throw some pumpkins. I let 4 pumpkins go bad, y'all. That was not cool of me. My teammates are going to shun me here pretty soon. I'm going to be their first target when we go free for all. Watch. I did something wrong. Better correct than fast. Yep. Well, I can't manage either one of those, so stop asking for so much. We need food at these lives. I agree. Yeah, well, that was me too. Just Couple days got busy and I totally forgot I had pumpkins to throw. And then I went back and 2 days old. Darn it. I will not be your target. No, I think at least you, me, and Rita will probably team up against anybody until we're knocked out because let's be real. I have a feeling there's a couple people we are not getting out, but it's fine. It just look, I'm already gonna be stitching anyway. Might as well get something for it. Reminds me of a Stone Age meme. Drink coffee, do stupid things faster with more energy. I mean, they had to do the stupid things so we don't do the stupid things, right? Because I'm not going out and picking up things out of the yard and putting them in my mouth and going, hope I can eat this. I will say the same as Holly. Unless I am forced to throw at you or Holly, I will not throw. Yeah. In the crazy, non existent world where we're the last three, come at me. I'm fine with that. But otherwise, we might as well use our powers for attacking others. In case anybody's curious, we're playing basically dodgeball but with pumpkins. So you stitch 100 stitches, you get a pumpkin. You throw it at somebody on the other team, and they have to stitch 300 to smash said pumpkin, or else they'll get knocked out. Um, we've been playing since what, the 5th or 6th of the month, and amazingly, I'm still in. Amazingly, Rita's still in because girl got like 2,400 stitches in a day that she had to do, or something like that. But yeah, this I will end stream in about 30 minutes so that I can go eat because I won't eat on camera. Some people do. Some people stream for 12 hours. I can't. Maybe if I was in my recliner and y'all were just seeing the stitching and we were chatting, I could probably do it. But being in here for more than a few hours, it's too much. Considering it was 6:30 p.m. and I am 900 stitches today without really trying. It wasn't impossible. Yeah. What are you stitching on? Because you are getting some really quick stitching. You probably told me already and now I can't remember. This is World Postage Stamp from Soda Stitch. It's one of my 2018 whips that I'm still working on. No. Let's just go ahead and pull it since we're sitting here. But it's that one. I need one of those little hand grabber thingies. Merry Mushroom Village picnic. Are you gonna get it done and get all the two free charts or whatever Hate is giving away for that? That's what that is, right? Yeah, the Hate sale. Being lazy. use scissors to just very lightly grab the bobbin. Oops. Right. Now I now where'd I throw it? Confetti. I'm constantly reminded why I don't like Hade. A Merry Mushroom Village is really cute. Oh man. I'm still gonna have to get up because it has gone all the way over there. I cannot reach it. It also fell behind my I have a plastic thing of drawers that has all my new starts, or not new starts, my kitted stuff. That is the goal, but I'm needing 20,000 stitches and only 2 months left, with December craziness being one of them. Yeah. I put Thine is the Trick away and pulled out Travel Memories. Nice. One step closer to actually stitching. Clearly can't type. I mean, that happens. Or you could type correctly and autocorrect could just say, nope, that's not what we're saying today. All right. Let's see. Neat stitching confetti, but I don't like. It's one of the reasons that I'll only do my daily 100, because if it is a lot of confetti, that's it. I'm done for the day. You know? But if it's not a lot of confetti, then it's. I could probably stitch more and just choose not to, but. Are you doing Stitch to the Moon next year, Rita? In full coverage fanatics? Oops, that's not the right. Kept hitting soon, send too soon. Yeah. I do that, or I'll hit the letter B that's right next to send and then send. So there's just this random B on the end of my sentences. If I find friends that want to make a team with me, then yes. Oh, you're saying you can't do like 268,000 stitches all by yourself? I think you can. Don't Run with Scissors is stitching to the moon with a team. Awesome. I thought at first perforated paper ain't for me, but it's growing on me like a fungus. No, I can only do 250,000 stitches by myself in 1 year. And those probably aren't all full coverage either. Whereas full coverage fanatics You can only count the full coverage ones. Rita and Kate. Kate's not huge on the full coverage stitching though. My guess is 360. What kind of material are you stitching on now? What is the stitch count? This is a 28 count opal Lugana from Under the Sea Fabrics. You don't even belong to full coverage. I I am thinking I might. I'm not good at keeping up in full coverage fanatics, but I do want to focus on finishing Alice next year. So I'm a little more than 50% done, and now I'm like, okay, let's just finish it. Although I don't think I could be like Jessie is with Personal Sunshine and just hyper focus on it until we're finished. I think she's gonna have to take like 2 weeks off in November and not stitch on anything after she finishes Personal Sunshine. My stitchy plan so far, I'm dedicating 100,000 stitches to full coverage and the rest non-full coverage. Is that this year or next year? I don't think I'm going to make it to 200,000 stitches this year. I think last I looked, I was at like 163. What does it mean when they say opal? I've noted that on some fabrics. Okay, so it's a little hard to see, but you see these little flecks that are all in it? They're sparkly. You can see it a little bit better when I move the camera. That's sparkly. It's woven into the fabric and it just gives it some sparkle. So that's what they call it opal. Um, I think that's the only thing it's referred to as, right? Hyper focus like I'm doing with this Haid Sal. Plans are next year in 2025. Okay. All right, I think I finished with this color. I don't stitch on a lot of opal fabrics um, because sometimes I just don't like them. Um, I have one friend that pretty much every single one of her fabrics is opal because she loves sparkly. Some I'll stitch on it when I feel like the piece needs it. Uh, but for the most part, I don't order opal fabrics. Sometimes, like this one, it's not a whole separate weave. I mean, I can kind of pick it up, but it's subtle. Some of them, it's actually a whole nother strand, and so when you're counting, sometimes you'll count the opal as a strand instead of actual two strands, and then things get short for opalescent. There you go. Let's go up here to 7. I tend to stick with even weaves. Um, Lugana, Joblin, Verdal are the main ones I like. Um, the difference between Joblin and Lugana is the type of material used when making the weave. So Joblin is softer, more pliable. Um, this is definitely a Lugana because it's, hey Angela, welcome in. Um, it's not necessarily stiff, but definitely more structured, and the holes stay open a little bit better, in my opinion, on Lugana. Um, Verdal is basically Jobelin that's 40 count. I absolutely adore it. If you can handle the small holes. Will stitch on linen if it's, the right color, the right whatever that I need, but I tend to prefer even weave. I saw your post. Your post? Yeah, your post. I'm sorry to hear that. Both a blessing and a curse, right? She's not suffering anymore. Just all the rest of us that have to suffer now that she's gone. I am gonna be in I'm gonna use a very southern soliloquy. I'm gonna be in your neck of the woods the first weekend in December. Maybe we can get together and have lunch. So far, I've only used Ada. Not sure why, but I'm kind of intimidated by the others. Um, I feel like Ada is everybody's natural starting place because it is the most uniform. It is the bigger holes, the easier to learn on. And then you kind of this even weave is going to be the next closest thing to Ada. So all of the holes are the same size, the threads are the same thickness. That's why it's called an even weave. Um, while being able to have a little bit smaller holes and stuff like that. And then um, linen, the weave can the threads can be some can be thicker, some can be thinner, so it takes a little more concentration, um, a little more patience in my opinion. This is all my opinion. I am not a professional. I am not what do you call that? When they know everything about something. Just from my experience. I don't feel like any one thing is necessarily easier to stitch on the other. It's just where you tend to find your preference. Because some people find linen to be great. Some people like their fabric a little more stiff so that the holes stay where they need to be, and some like it loose and soft, easy to stitch on, or not easy. Easy is the wrong word. Nothing, that too. Nothing wrong with staying with Ada, and there are some beautiful hand dyed Ada fabrics out there. Also, I think sometimes Ada runs a bit cheaper than everything else, so there's that. What are you stitching on right now, John? Even weave takes a little practice of getting used to the technique, but it comes second nature. Okay, we have about 7 more minutes of stitching time. Then I will look at how much stitching we got done, look through the guesses, see who gets entered into the raffle, and then we'll do the raffle. So if you're here and you're interested, give us a guess on how many stitches we got done today. And the closest without going over will get entered into the drawing. I will let you know I've done at least 200 stitches since we started, because I did 100 on Alice, I did 100-ish on Gift of Giving, and then whatever we've gotten done here. I haven't even counted the stitches for this yet. So if you'd like to make a guess and get entered in the drawing, we will be spinning I'll put everybody on a wheel that got entries, and we'll spin. And I have two prizes to choose from. There's only going to be one winner, but you can choose from either getting a Vic bag. Vic Gable over at Stitch and Button, I have one of her bags that I'm going to give away, or the Christmas ornaments issue of Just Cross Stitch, and a kit. I'll have to show it to you, but you can choose between. Just because I know not everybody uses bags or wants bags. As far as fabric, I'm still on 14 count Ada. Just bought some 16 and 18 to try. Still gridding everything. Okay. One says 300. One says 485. Love your confidence there. John says 275. Are you gridding for a full coverage? Let's see how many stitches we can get in here. We have 4 more minutes. Because then I need lunch. That's how that happens. Holly says 311. So hope I can read my own handwriting when this is all over. We'll stitch on literally anything, but my sweet spot is 28-32 count. Aida tends to hurt my hands a little more with the even weave or linen, but I have at least a few whips on all of them. Ashley guesses 290. Kate says Holly cheats. If you need to update your guess because you guessed early, she knows me too well. Because you guessed early, you can update. Just let me know. We have 2 more minutes, and I will close it down. Now, my plan is to have one of these giveaways every month. Unfortunately, due to some life stuff, and I have entries for this raffle from July, August, and September. Because we never got around to um, I did one full coverage and I've gridded for normals as well. I need to try without just, they go drive me nuts to have to count over so much. I'm probably overthinking. I get that. There's a lot of times where I won't work a thread for so far, like this one. This one's thrown up here because it's in the tree up here somewhere, but I'm not going to count up there. So I just kind of leave or I'll cut it off and pull a new thread. I try not to count too much because I will screw it up. Apparently my new phone case from Stitch Folk is out for delivery. Yeah. I just ate leftover pizza. Alright, I'm gonna call it since we finished that color. A cold leftover pizza. We have pizza in there, I think. I think I'm gonna have leftovers too. I made beef stroganoff earlier this week, and we have a lot left. And I love it. It tastes so good because I make it from scratch. It is not hamburger helper. All right. I'm going to start counting, so give me just a moment. If you any last minute guesses, throw them up, but so Erica says 322. All right. Oh my God, there's a National Crocs Day. One of the hairdressers yesterday was wearing like heeled Crocs that looked like punk boots, and they had like all kinds of bling on them and chains hanging off of them. It was crazy. It was interesting. All right, so we got 100 for Alice, 108 for World Postage Stamp, and 119 for Gift of Giving. 7, 327 is our stitch for today. Holly said 311. Kate said 267, so Holly's closer. Betty said 383. She's too high. Rita Marie said 320, so she's the closest right now. Stained Glass said 275. Enid said 250. Kathy said 360. Laurel said 300. Don't Run with Scissors said 485. I love your enthusiasm. John said 275. Ashley said 290. And Erica said 322. So, Erica beat out Rita. All right, Erica, you got it. So, 1026 is Erica. Came in right at the last minute and got it. All right. So then we're going to go to the decision wheel. And delete all these. This one is Jessie. Jessie. She got 2 on July 4th because she got the exact right number. Got beat by 2 stitches. I make a great cheerleader. I mean, with a little more time, I could have gotten there, but the other thing is when I start talking, I stop stitching, so. Heather. Erica. Let me make sure I spelled it right. Jessie. Enid. Laurel. Laurel. Holly. And Erica. Apologies for that. Okay, so that's all the entries we got. July 4th was Jessie twice. July 5th, Holly. August 3rd, Heather. September 26th, Laurel. September 25th, Erica. October 5th, Jessie. October 11th, Enid. October 12th, Laurel. October 19th, Laurel. October 24th, Holly. And October 26th, Erica. Kate got 469. Awesome. Okay, we're going to spin. And then I'll show you what you can choose from. And some of these people aren't here, so. Laurel. It chose Laurel. Almost got to you, Holly, but not quite. All right. So I have 2 different things for you to choose from. And since you're here, you can choose. All right. So the first is this Teresa Kogut print thick bag. You did. And 2 entries. So you can either get the bag. Are you paying attention, Laurel? Let's see what Kate just sent me. Oh, wow. That looks really good, Kate. Following Laurel. I gotta make sure. Okay. Bag. Big bag. You know how Vic's bags are. It's the Teresa Kogut bunnies. Or the Christmas issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. And this one of these where it's printed on the canvas and you just put the colors over it. And it's a, oh man, geisha. So, yes. Which yes. One or the other. Let me know. All right. So that is it for us today. Thank you all so much for joining me. We had a great stitch today. Lots of good conversation. We learned a few things. We had a lot of information today. Um, so I will be back. It will either be Thursday at 2 o'clock or we're just going to do another Saturday. So what do y'all think? Should we do Thursday? Just do it earlier? It'll be about 6 hours earlier, and it'll only be for a couple of hours because I have to help with the pep rally stuff. Um, we'll be here Saturday, 9 a.m. either way, and maybe we'll have a Thursday stream this week. So Will's notoriously hate me, so I'm not surprised. I mean, it was this close. The dress cross stitch issue. Okay, awesome. Thursday. Okay, Thursday, 2 p.m. So about 2 hours from now, but on Thursday. And then, of course, Saturday morning. You did not ask too many questions. Not at all. I appreciate it because one, it gives us something to talk about. And two, um, it's really fun when you've got a lot of different people in here because you can kind of get everybody's opinion and perspective. Because I'm just one person. Thursday earlier is nice. Okay, cool. So this Thursday we'll do from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Saturday 9 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time. So, and we did very good with the ping this time. So husband has done lost his laptop, at least on Thursdays and Saturdays. As soon as I walked in on Thursday, he's like, I lost my laptop, didn't I? All right. I will see you on FlossTube on Monday. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you all so much for joining me. Bye.